Hi, everyone. My name is Caroline. I'm one of the yoga instructors here at Yoga Nisa Spirit and Wellness. And today I'm going to be taking you through a yoga practice that's focused on really toning the body, getting a little bit of a workout in, holding deep postures, focusing on your breathing. Just a good exercise all around for both the mind and the body. So let me just share my sound here and then we can get started in Shavasana. So lying on your backs on the mat, and I will meet you there. So just getting started on your backs, sinking into the mat. Feeling each point on your body in contact with the mat. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Noticing how your body is feeling today. Noticing any areas of tightness. And bringing loving energy towards that area, allowing it to relax. Slowly deepening your inhales and your exhales. With every breath in, noticing the sensations in the body, your chest rising, your chest falling. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, side out through the mouth. One more deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And if your eyes are closed, slowly opening the eyes with a couple blinks, bringing some energy into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, rolling out the wrists, rolling out the ankles, bringing some wakeful energy into the body, moving the head from side to side. And with your next inhale, reaching palms up overhead, interlacing the fingers, toes point together towards the bottom of the mat. Inhale, big stretch. And exhale, side out, let it go. And slowly bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. We're going to do a couple of bridge poses, but mobile bridge poses. So tickling the backs of your heels, making sure your feet are planted hip distance apart. I want you to inhale as you bring the arms up overhead, lifting the hips towards the ceiling, activating the glutes here, activating the muscles in the quads, the hamstrings. And exhale, hands and hips come back down towards the mat. We're going to do a couple of rounds of this active bridge pose. Inhale up. And exhale, lower. activating all muscles as you do this pose. Inhale and exhale with your breath. Trying to prolong each inhale and exhale. Inhale up and exhale lower. Inhale, trying not to let the knees splay out, pointing the knees forward, and exhale lower. And you should feel a little bit of activation now in your thighs and your glutes. If not, you can go through a couple more rounds. But inhaling the right toes toward the sky when you're ready, and dropping the right ankle over top the left thigh, interlacing the fingers behind that left thigh. Inhale, deepening that opening into that right outer hip, making sure that the right ankle here is flexed to protect the right knee. Breathing energy into that outer right hip. With every inhale, lengthening the spine, and every exhale, sinking deeper into that right hip, bringing that left knee closer towards the core. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale, bringing yourself deeper into this right hip opener. And on the next exhale, coming back to your bridge position, centering on the mat and switching sides, lifting left toes up towards the sky. And exhale, dropping that left ankle over top the right thigh. Inhale, as you bring that right thigh in, interlacing fingers behind that right thigh, making sure that left ankle is flexed. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, bringing that right knee closer towards the body if you can. Always protecting that left knee by flexing the left ankle and feeling that deep stretch and opening in that outer left hip right here. The left glute, tensor fascia lata. Breathing here. With every inhale, again, lengthening the spine, and every exhale, sinking the knee closer to the chest to deepen that stretch. And slowly unwinding, coming back to center. You can make your way up to a tabletop position in any way that's most comfortable for you. If you want to do a couple of rocks along the spine, giving your back and your spine a gentle massage. If that's not comfortable for you, you can just meet me in whichever way you can find in tabletop position. Inhale, dip the belly, dip the chest, gazing forward. Exhale, rounding the upper spine, cat pose. Opening up those shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, dip the belly, dip the chest, gazing forward. And exhale, rounding out the spine, cat. 2 more rounds here. Inhale, cow, gaze is forward. And exhale, cat, rounding out that spine. And from your cat pose, we can find a neutral back here. We're going to do a couple of wrist exercises. So I want you to come to a comfortable seated position. You can sit on your heels. If that's not comfortable for you, you can sit cross-legged, whichever is best in your body. We're going to start to roll out the wrists here. So I'm going to face you for this part and switch directions. We're going to be doing a little bit of things on the wrist today. So I just want to make sure that there's no injuries and shake it out. We're going to place the palms, place the palms face down on the mat, And just sort of draw circles around, massaging out that wrist, increasing mobility, and switching directions of that circle, clockwise now, or counterclockwise if you're doing it the other way before. And moving the fingers to point to the sides, drawing those circles, and switching directions. And now drawing circles with the fingers facing backwards. And finally, on the tops of the hands, try not to put too much pressure here. We don't want any injuries, but just drawing circles gently here. Not putting too much weight here on the wrists in this direction. It's not natural. Okay, and just shaking out the wrists and meeting back in tabletop position. Step the palms forward, curl the toes under, lifting the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. So really reaching each heel towards the mat here, pedaling out the heels, getting comfortable in your downward facing dog. And when you're ready, starting to find more stillness in your down dog. It's the first downward facing dog of the practice. So if you feel a little bit tight in those hamstrings, it's completely normal. Just finding some stillness, trying to aim for a long straight line of energy from the crown of the head to the tops of the sit bones. Sinking the armpits towards the mat, almost like you're giving the mat a hug with your armpits. And inhale, rolling forward into plank. And holding this plank for a second. Adjust your plank if you feel that you're not directly over your wrists, because we're going to do a chaturanga next. But we're not going to come into upward facing dog. So if you need the knees down, take whatever modification you need in your chaturanga. We're going to do a chaturanga push-up. So exhale, holding the chaturanga, and inhale, pushing yourself back up, hips up and back, downward facing dog. 2 more of that. Sequence, inhale, rolling forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back to plank. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So again, if you need to take your knees down for modification, inhale, rolling forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back up to plank. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. And breathing here in this down dog. Inhale, right toes up towards the sky. And exhale, knee to nose tap. Inhale, back up. And exhale, stepping that right foot in between the palms. Cartwheeling yourself up into warrior 2. Holding your warrior 2, make sure your knee is stacked right over that ankle. Gazing past the right fingertips, relaxing the shoulder down the back. And holding here, strong legs, strong arms, including that back leg, back arm. And exhale, reversing the warrior. Inhale, back up, dropping the right elbow by the right knee. Inhale as you reach those left fingertips up over. Side angle pose here. You can gaze either over the left shoulder or forward, whatever is more comfortable for the neck. Trying not to lean too much weight into that right elbow. It's more there for strength. And slowly reaching forward, you can keep your left hand on your left hip or at heart center. And slowly reaching forward, shifting weight into that right foot. We're going to balance here in Ardha Chandrasana as you float that left leg up. If you need your fingertips there on the ground for balance, Feel free to do so, trying to point your hips towards the left side. And if you can, and if you have enough balance, you can slowly try to lift those fingertips from the mat or grab onto the ankle or the calf, whatever works for you. If you're losing your balance, as I am, that's completely okay. Just trying to find stillness where you can. Holding here in Ardha Chandrasana and slowly lowering the back foot down, landing back into Warrior Two. Inhale, arms reach out. And exhale, reverse the warrior. And the next exhale, cartwheeling the hands back down, stepping back into plank and coming into your chaturanga push-up, knees up or down. Inhale, back up. And exhale, chaturanga normal vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. It's already warming up the body. Feeling the heart starting to beat a little bit more quickly in the chest. And switching sides. So inhale, left toes up towards the sky. And exhale, knee to nose tap. Inhale, back up. And exhale, bringing that left foot in between the palms. Inhale, Warrior Two. Gazing past those left fingertips, making sure that left knee is stacked over top that left ankle, strong back leg. Relaxing the shoulders down the back. And holding here. On the next exhale, reverse the warrior. Left side stretch. And exhale, dropping that left elbow over top the left knee, just gently, and reaching your right arm overhead. Side angle pose on the opposite side. What you're aiming for here is a long straight line from the edge of that back foot towards the right fingertips. And you don't want to lean into that left elbow, but rather let it gently graze the left knee. Holding here. And on the next inhale, starting to reach left fingertips forward to the top of the mat and gently float that back leg up as you shift weight into the left foot. Ardha Chandrasana on the opposite side. Trying to tilt the hips towards the side wall. As you slowly, if you can, and it's not necessary, try to lift those left fingertips. It'll be difficult to balance, but if you fall out, it's okay. You can bring the hand towards the calf or the shin. Wherever you are, holding this Ardha Chandrasana pose for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lowering that back foot back to a Warrior Two. Bringing the arms out. And exhale, reverse the warrior. On the next exhale, cartwheeling the hands back down, stepping that left foot back into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga, hold. And inhale back up. And exhale, coming through your vinyasa. How's the body feeling? Hopefully it's feeling a little warmed up at this point in time. If we want to take a little rest in a brief child's pose, you can have arms stretched out forward. If you want some rest for the shoulders, you can follow the variation that I'm in right now with my fingertips towards my feet. I'm just holding here for 3 deep breaths before we continue. Noticing how the body feels. Noticing the heart beating in your chest. And making your way back to your downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, inhale right toes up towards the sky. Exhale, bringing that right foot in between the palms. Inhale, arms reach up, high lunge. Focusing on your form here, relaxing the shoulders down the back, strengthening the core rather than dipping into the low back. And exhale, runner's lunge. Bringing the hands to heart center. Slowly lifting that back leg up into warrior three, flexing that back heel, making sure your body is parallel to the mat. Trying to point your hips towards the floor and holding here for 2 more breaths. And slowly swinging that leg like a pendulum, bringing that left ankle over top the right thigh. We're going to slowly sit down, making sure that left ankle is flexed the whole time to protect the left knee. Sitting down into a standing figure four. This is kind of like the figure four we were in on our backs at the beginning of practice. And holding here. And on the next exhale, you can reach towards the mat. If you can touch all the way towards the mat, please do so. If arm balances is in your practice, you can try one here. If you've never tried one, do not try this. You can try to practice strengthening the body by leaning forward, hooking that left foot over top the back of the right arm. But if you've never tried it, just stay here and try to lift the weight of your body. But if arm balances are in your practice, you can slowly practice lifting that back foot one at a time until you feel more comfortable. Wherever you are, be honest with your body. And inhale, lifting back up, hands to heart center, and dropping that left foot by the right. Holding here. Exhale, hands to the side, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, bringing fingertips towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, planting the palms, stepping the feet back into plank. And you can come through your vinyasa here, or you can skip it. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, lifting that left foot up towards the sky. And exhale, bringing that foot in between the palms. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. High lunge on the opposite side, strengthening the core, relaxing the shoulders down the back, gazing forward. And exhale, runner's lunge, leaning forward, 45 degrees. Inhale, hands to heart center, and slowly shifting weight onto that front foot, lifting the back toes up. And holding here, trying to point those hips towards the mat. And inhale, swinging that foot like a pendulum, bringing that right foot over top the left ankle. And slowly sitting down into your figure four, making sure that right ankle is flexed to protect the right knee. And like we did on the other side, you want to start to reach towards the ground. Feel that opening in the right hip, kind of like at the beginning of practice. If you need more space for your arm balance, or you're practicing of arm balance to strengthen the body for it, you can reach down, hook that right foot behind the left arm or left elbow, and start to lean forward and practice lifting the foot off the mat as you lean forward. Wherever you are, making sure that you're honest with your body. Inhaling back up, hands to heart center. And exhale, hands by the side, mountain pose, Tadasana. Breathing here in your mountain pose, listening to the heart beating in your chest. Inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, folding forward, palms to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, and exhale, planting the palms and stepping back into your plank, coming through your final vinyasa. Inhale, or exhale rather, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, we're going to come into pigeon, bringing right toes up towards the sky, and gently bringing the right knee behind the right wrist, and placing the left, or the right ankle, rather, the right foot behind the left ankle, or sorry, the left hand. Just wherever you are here, if you can get it completely parallel, that would be good. But a lot of people can't. It's not comfortable in their body. So that's okay. And you can stay here. And your back leg is straight behind you. You can stay here in your pigeon. Or if you have the space coming down to your arms, and some people can come down all the way to the floor. If this is still uncomfortable for you in this pose, a modification is your pose. So bringing that right foot parallel to the top edge of the mat and bringing that back leg in so that it's parallel to your front calf as well as the front edge of the mat. So you kind of have a double here. And coming down onto the elbows. Wherever you are here, deer pose or pigeon pose. Spending a little bit of time here. Letting the body slow down. Noticing any judgments you've been making on yourself throughout this practice and just letting them go. Noticing how your body feels right now in this moment. Noticing all the good that you are doing for your body and for your mind. Slowly coming back up into your downward facing dog. We're going to switch sides. Inhale, left toes up towards the sky. And exhale, bringing that left knee behind the left wrist. Right foot behind the right wrist. And taking whatever variation of pigeon that you prefer, or a deer. Coming down to elbows if that's comfortable for you. And resting, opening up that hip on the left side. Letting the mind flow. Letting the body slow down. Continuing to breathe. Deep breaths, bringing oxygen into the body. And on the next inhale, coming back up to center, we're going to swing that right leg around here and slowly make our way into our final resting position, back where we started, slowly lowering down onto the back into your Shavasana. taking whatever pose you wish to take here in your Shavasana. If you want butterfly legs, do the butterfly legs. You want to sit up in seated position for your Shavasana, please do so. Just allow your body to relax here. Allow your body to absorb all the benefits of this practice that you just went through with me today. Thanking your body for carrying you through all those challenging poses. Thanking yourself for sustaining the effort that it took to put your body through those poses. Thanking yourself for listening to your body when you needed any breaks, when you needed to push yourself. Starting to relax the body completely. Relaxing the space between the brows. Relaxing the face. Letting the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the back. Slowly sinking into the mat in your Shavasana. And slowly wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, rolling out the wrists and the ankles. Moving the head from side to side. We're going to take a big stretch on the next inhale. Inhale, reaching the arms up, pointing the toes together. Inhale, extending that body, and exhale, letting it go. If you want to stay in your Shavasana, you're completely welcome to. But if you want to close out this practice with me, making your way to a comfortable seated position facing the front of the mat, hands to heart center, bowing the head, chin to the fingertips, and slowly blinking open the eyes. Thank you all for coming through this practice with me, taking that step to get onto your mats today and sharing your loving light, energy, and love here with me today on the mat. Namaste. Sorry for taking a little bit longer than usual and having more technical difficulties with this practice. Hopefully you didn't notice. But thanks for joining. Have a great day.